advocacy group Lifeline and Rape Crisis is leading a march to the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature. Now, the group is expected to hand over a memorandum to the legislature, including several demands. Among them, the DNA backlog in the province. It says there are currently over 200,000 DNA results outstanding nationwide. The advocacy group says a lack of accountability from officials and dysfunctional laboratories are to blame. All right, let's check in now with Karinda Jagmohan, who is in Pietermaritzburg. Karinda, I believe you are at the legislature. What is being said where you are, but also importantly, the role that the parliament there has got to take?
We believe the laws that
well, what is noticeable here is that women who march to the legislature say they won't leave until the KZN speaker affirms that she can meet their demands. Women also even saying they will sleep outside the legislature if they have to. These are social workers from Lifeline, gender-based violence survivors as well, who have really taken to the pavement outside the legislature, saying they will not go, they want their demands met. Among those is clarification on bail conditions and some of the signs they're holding. Mavis, 62 years, killed in 2022. You'll see more signs as well. Tandazile, 41 years, killed in 2011. Kanyisile, 46 years, killed in 2020. There are so many of these blue signs. Oli, it is horrifying to know. Maybe, ma'am, we can maybe speak to you as you are lying here. Tell me about why you say you will not move from the KZN legislature.
We are so disappointed about how the cases are being handled. Perpetrators are being given bail. So that is why we want answers. We want urgent answers because we are tired.
From the Lifeline perspective, what are some of the horror stories you hear on a daily basis?
I would like you to answer to my seniors.
Oh, it's fine. But some of the social workers that you see here say that they're not going to move from this area. You'll see Akona, 19 years old, died in 2020. Smangele, 46 years, died in 2022. And that was the horrific case where 3 women from the same family were killed earlier this year. The mother, the grandmother and a child, a 7-year-old child was killed all in the same house here in Pietermaritzburg. The suspect was arrested shortly thereafter. He handed himself in and was sentenced to life in prison. But that was one fortunately successful case that came out of the courts. What those who are here today say that they want more answers, especially about DNA evidence. One of the issues that we have in KwaZulu-Natal is that there is no forensic lab in KwaZulu-Natal, DNA forensic lab, meaning that any evidence when it comes to gender-based violence has to be sent to Pretoria, and that is obviously going to delay demands. Now, Sinikiwe Biyela is among those who is relaying some of those demands to the KZN speaker, as you see here. So we're going to hear as well what she has to say. You see in front of you is the KZN speaker with members of the legislature hearing this and expected to sign some of the papers that she has. Let's take a listen to what Sinikiwe Biyela has to say.
Province to have functional facilities and expertise to analyze DNA and produce reports timelessly within 3 months for criminal cases to proceed to court. If we're saying for DNA paternity test results are out in 3 weeks, we are being nice. We're saying for rape, can we have results out within 3 months of taking the specimen? We know, Madam Speaker, that if results are not analyzed, after 6 months of them not being analyzed, the specimen deteriorates. So basically, when we wait for 2 years or 4 years, we are fooling our province, we are fooling our nation, because those results will come back inconclusive. We demand that the Sexual Offences Act and related matters actually gets reviewed to include this issue, so that we will know if it's legislated, if it's part of the law, if it's part of the act, People that are analyzing the DNA, they will know that in 3 months, results should be out. And if they're not out, Madam Speaker, we demand that they are being held accountable. We also demand that the legislature actually form partnerships with private labs. We have a number of private labs in KwaZulu-Natal that can assist with the backlog of DNA. We are tired of being told there is a backlog of DNA when there is no backlog of DNA when it comes to paternity tests.
Oli, there you have it, especially that important aspect, saying the backlog of DNA evidence is heartbreaking for the victims of gender-based violence who come to court regularly and told that the matter has been postponed because of further investigations or because there is a delay in turning out DNA evidence because KZN does not have a lab to process DNA evidence. And again, that has to go to Pretoria, taking delays that go up to years sometimes. And of course, that's not enough for those who want justice or who fear their lives, survivors as well of gender-based violence, who fear their lives when they're trying to take these cases to court. KwaZulu-Natal has some of the most horrifying gender-based violence statistics, and we know that Umlazi and Inanda police stations in Durban, as well as Sisla police station here in Pietermaritzburg, regularly feature high when it comes to crime statistics in terms of murder and rape. We know the reality on the ground in terms of the violence in South Africa, and these women say, well, until the Speaker has some answers for them, they will stay here to try and fight for justice for a woman like Zanele, 65 years old, killed in 2022. Oli.
Karinda Jagmohan giving us the realities on the ground as they are being relayed to the Speaker of the Pietermaritzburg or the KZN Legislature, Nontombeko Boyce, and she's got to take this particular fight forward now through her role as Speaker of that legislature. And yeah, the stories are just too frightening in South Africa around gender-based violence. Let's